Well, good day, everyone, and welcome to episode 18 of the Tech ChitChat Show. My name is Ken. You can find me on Northern Viking Everyday and Northern Viking Explorer on YouTube. I'm here with my co-host Stephen Loney on YouTube and 8-Bit Warrior on Twitter. Good day, Stephen.
Good day to you, Ken.
How are you today?
Yeah, I'm doing well. Good morning. Happy Tuesday.
Yes. Did you get all the granola bar out of your mouth?
I might. Yes, I think we're doing okay here. I happened to eat a granola bar just before starting, and Ken's a little concerned that I have chocolate through my teeth, but I think I'm doing okay.
Yeah, you're doing
all right. Doing okay.
Swinging it down with the coffee.
Got
or the
coffee
tea this
to clean my teeth. Who needs to brush your teeth when you got coffee?
There you go. What a way to start on a Tuesday morning at 10 a.m. Pacific. Wow.
Mm-hmm.
So, you have a good weekend? I guess it's Tuesday. We used to do this on Monday.
Yeah, I'm a little confused. I'm like, was it just the weekend? Yeah, I think so. Again,
Yeah.
I usually don't remember the weekends, not because I was partying, but just because I don't remember. But it was fine. Again, just laying low, taking it easy. So
Cool. Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, we had a good weekend too. Did some birthday party stuff for a family member, and yes, it was
Nice.
good. Ate too much cake and tacos and things.
Cake and tacos.
Cake and tacos.
It's not what
together.
I see going together.
Like the tacos first, then wait a little bit, and then you have the cake. Not on the
Got a
same plate.
weird family early.
Hey, we're related, so my family's your family.
Well, the weird part, you guys are Swedish. I don't know how cake and tacos go together but anyway.
That's true. That's true. They were Swedish tacos.
All right. Okay.
Awesome. Yeah, so we've got a good show here for you today of the Tech ChitChat Show. I almost messed up there. We made it to episode 18. We're proud of ourselves. We're going to talk
Are we?
Well, not really. We're proud of ourselves out. Yeah. Maybe not. We're not proud of ourselves. I'm kind of shocked we're still doing this, but hey. We're going to keep rolling. We've got some cool stuff to talk about. Yesterday's Apple event. We're going to talk about that. And many of you are like, what? There was an Apple event yesterday? Yes, there was an Apple event yesterday. We're going to talk the new macOS as well. Monterey. Sounds like a nice place to visit. Side note, that's a place as well, Monterey. Windows 11 and their AMD issues. Again, we'll talk about that. Some new Nintendo Switch stuff with the online expansion pack. We're going to talk about PS5 and them dominating the market. Not dominating, but some
Leading.
stuff there. And then we've got, of course, our question of the day for you guys. So we've got a little bit to roll into. So why don't we dive into it, Stephen? And we'll start out with the Apple event from yesterday. Did you have a look at this information? Were you excited?
So I seen not excited. Well, actually I take that back. On a technical level, what I find most exciting is just kind of like the processor technology. So that like the CPUs and their stuff, the M1 chip and that. Mm-hmm. I find that that's probably the most exciting thing to me. But then I also noticed, so I didn't know this was coming. I'm not an Apple person, but I didn't know that there's a HomePod Mini, and that reminds me of just like Alexa or Google Home or something.
Yeah, I think they already had them, but they added some more colors and kind of revamped it a little bit. Let me just roll through some of these things. So the new MacBook Pros are going to feature the M1 Pro chip and the M1 Max chip. So new chips in there are supposed to be quite quick. Mm-hmm. 14 and 16-inch liquid retina XDR displays. Everybody knows what that means.
Nope.
Out there. They've got the iPod... Forget that. Scratch everything I just said in the last 5 seconds. AirPod 3s coming out. Some new features in there. They look more like the old AirPod Pros, but they're the AirPods now. And there's those HomePod Minis, so I think there's some, like you said, like an Alexa type device, I believe. Mm-hmm. Smart home controller, but new colors. They look like candles. that you would put on your counter, but they look pretty cool actually. I like this navy blue one.
I feel like these belong at IKEA. Like it seems like an IKEA thing. Like how cool! Like Apple could have just like worked with IKEA on this. They could have done like the new.
Well, Asus just did that.
Yeah.
With the Asus Republic of Gear or Gamers Gear at IKEA. So.
I guess Asus got the contract and not Apple on this one.
Yeah. So, So we were talking about the chips.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Not potato chips, but computer chips.
Not Apple chips. Not actually, yes, Apple chips. So these seem quite powerful for what they are. They're like still like more high performance for lower power usage. So I don't think they're still beating out like the top end i9s and AMD's top stuff like at a power level, but they seem to be winning at like the power efficiency. So especially for laptops and all that kind of stuff, it seems good. So it seems like this generation of that M1 chip is like even way more powerful than before. That's cool. And I was looking, they were showing some comparisons of like, I noticed what their comparisons like, here's comparisons against a laptop with a discrete GPU. And I was a little bit bothered because I'm like, which discrete GPU? And they were showing comparisons and I'm like, okay, are you talking about like a GT 1030 in a laptop? Or are you talking about like a 2060, a 3060, a 30? And so I was a little bit there. The performance comparisons were a little bit vague. Like I still think, relatively speaking, compared to the old chips in performance, the graphs seem okay. But I'd like to see some actual numbers on actual.
Well, yeah, you say that, and like I've got on the screen right now, it says 13 times faster graphics performance, or up to 3.7 times faster GPU performance, or CPU performance, I should say. 21 hours of battery life, 11 times faster machine learning. So compared to what? And
that's vague, and I'm okay because the main Apple user may not understand what a 2060 is or 3070 is.
Yeah.
But even if there was, maybe I missed it, but even if there was like an asterisk somewhere in the corner that had an asterisk that actually said what it was for those of us who do know, so we can begin to get an actual
There's a
idea.
little number 2 there. There it is. All the information.
Okay, so where is it? Is there a GPU listed in there? Let's go through the fine print with a needle.
Testing conducted by Apple in September 2021 using, I can't even read it, it's so small. Using pre-production 14-inch MacBook Pro systems with Apple M1 Max, 10-core CPU, 32-core GPU, 64 gigabytes of RAM, and 8 terabytes of SSD, as well as production 2.3 gigahertz quad-core Intel Core i7 based 13-inch MacBook. And then it goes on.
Oh, so they're comparing against their own Intel MacBook and not...
Yeah.
Okay.
A complex 2-minute project with 4K ProRes 422 media. So Final Cut Pro 10.6 tested. Okay, so that's what... Okay, that's so small. I'm like... let's see if I can zoom in there. Oh, gosh. Anyway...
Yeah,
we're gonna stop boring you right now.
There's some digging. There's some digging to be done, but that already is a bit helpful. So they're comparing it to their previous generation of Intel chipset that they used.
Yeah.
So this is not so that's not current like Windows based Intel i7s.
No.
So that's where it's kind of like okay.
Yeah.
So when I was looking at the graphs, just watching their video and showing the graphs of the presentation, I thought they were comparing against the latest like i7 of a Windows laptop. So that's where I'm like, okay, where are you comparing it to? So they're comparing it to their hardware stack, not to the overall.
No, I think if you're into like video editing, like I am, like this would be a really nice laptop editing system. I edit on a desktop, but if you wanted a laptop editing system, I think these would be marvelous for that.
And on that note, they were discussing hardware encoding decoding with the graphics architecture.
Okay.
And they're making a strong emphasis on that for video editors. Like really good encoding decoding performance, I think, is a deal. And I think
I like what it says here. Sorry. M1 Pro, scary fast, up to 10 core CPU, 16 core GPU, 32 gigabytes of unified memory, and 200 gigabytes per second memory bandwidth. But then
Right.
I like what it says here, M1 Max, scary fast is scary faster.
Scary,
so
scary faster.
So the first one's scary fast, and the second one's scary faster. So this one's 10 core CPU, 32 core GPU.
Right.
And that would be amazing.
Yeah, I think
I'm actually quite impressed. Up to 64 gigabytes of unified memory and 400 gigabytes per second memory bandwidth.
yeah.
Wow, that's fast.
Yeah. So here I am a little bit saying about the vagueness is kind of an issue, but I think relatively speaking, these are fast devices, and again, performance for class, they're probably top of the class.
Yeah,
Like you're probably gonna have a hard time beating it for that kind of form factor.
yeah. What did you think about the AirPods? I think they're the short. They look more like I think the old Pros. I think they.
Are you having to scroll to make that move?
Yeah, I know. Sorry, I'm making everybody sick.
I'm just kind of intrigued here. Okay.
Longer
I don't
battery
know.
life, the charges in a snap.
Yeah, so I noticed that they now saw it in the article. They
More
mentioned
water resistant.
that has 6 hours battery life, that's pretty good. Without the charging dock, of course. Just a straight 6-hour battery life, and that if you charge it for 5 minutes, you get 1 hour of power. So that's impressive.
Yeah.
So if
I
you
wonder
don't
if my daughter will be disappointed. She just bought the previous generation ones. So.
Yeah, but they're probably still good.
Oh, I'm sure they're great. Yeah. Yeah. So, yeah, so some cool stuff. I think it's all like, it's not their big flagship iPhone event, but there was some cool stuff here. So,
But as regards to the M1 chip, I think the M1 chip here is quite impressive, and it would be nice to see some comparisons to like outside of the Apple hardware stack comparisons. But I think regardless, I think I think that's their main thing was their M1 chips. So
sure, yeah, no, for sure. So they also, I don't think this was announced yesterday. People have known Monterey's coming for a little bit now, but so Monterey is Mac's new OS.
Right.
That I believe is coming with these new laptops. So October 25th is the official launch date of that. So MacOS Monterey is officially launching on October 25th. So if you are getting into one of these MacBook Pros, you should be able to get a new version of operating system. Now, I don't know a lot about this. I did search up some of the best new features of Monterey, and there were some interesting ones. We're not going to go through these with a fine-tooth comb, but there was a couple of interesting ones I think that tweaked both of our attention. So there's some different Windows management stuff that is a little bit easier to use with different split views and easy access to other applications through that. Safari has some different changes or an overhaul coming to it. I think more of a streamlined look in there. There's some SharePlay updates, so it makes it easier if you're, wanting to watch a video with someone else. AirPlay, it allows you to your device to be a receiver as well as a transmitter, so that's kind of cool. And a new quick note app, sticky note kind of thing.
Yeah.
And this is the one that we both thought was cool, is there's a new reset your Mac option.
Yeah.
So rather than having to format and do all that, you can basically at the push of a button, when you're done with your Mac, it's old and gray-haired and about to die, you can actually just reset it. It makes it really easy before you get rid of it to kind of refresh it as factory default. You don't have to worry about all your data on there.
And that's actually that there is a cool feature. Because I know they've already had that on the iPhones, because I did that recently for my father. We hit an older iPhone that he wanted to be reset because he has some business stuff on there. He needs to have, not have business information. So I said, give it to me, and I found the factory reset, and it took care of that.
Yeah.
So this isn't new for the iPhone, for the Apple stuff, but it seems for Mac.
Yeah, it seems like it's been a bigger thing in phones for a long time, or
Yeah.
a lot of devices except for computers. It's been
So the one caveat though I would wonder about that is, I'm assuming no, but it would be really cool when they do this, is that I don't think it's going to do it, but doing like a secure one where you do this, and it actually writes the hard drive clean before.
yeah.
And
Yeah, that would be good information to know how
Yeah.
clean that hard drive is.
Because you don't want to assume, as a person with sensitive information, you don't want to assume that it's clearing the sensitive information, because it might still largely be there and just not accessible. So that would be one thing that'd be good to be made clear of in the future.
Yeah, no, for sure. And then they have a low power mode as well in there that you can turn on. So using less battery and whatnot. So there are some features coming in that. I think they're great upgrades if you are, especially if you're getting one of those new MacBook Pros. I think it's kind of a cool thing. So
It'll probably be really fast.
yeah. So you've got your super duper powered computer with Monterey. You're all set.
And the thing with that package is then you now have Apple making their own hardware, roughly kind of doing their own and their own software. So now that hardware and software they can have it talk together really nicely. And whereas Windows works pretty well, but you're dealing with AMD, Intel, NVIDIA trying to talk with Microsoft, and so you may get benefits with the Apple ecosystem now with that new M1 chip stuff, and it should be pretty fast, I think, on paper. So.
Yeah, no, for sure.
Yeah.
For sure. Well, let's jump over to Windows troubles.
Yay.
Right off of Mac. Yay, Windows troubles. Did you get all your Windows troubles sorted out, or your computer troubles sorted out?
I did. I found a new motherboard. It's like 8, 9, 10 years old kind of motherboard. Yeah, I got it, and it's all back up and running. We're good.
Perfect.
So, yeah.
That's good. Good old technology.
Yeah, a fun story. I found this shop like half an hour drive away, and I walk in, and it was like this beautiful place of like, it looks like it's like an organized mess. It's like computer parts everywhere, but it's beautiful. It's like, I like this place, because that's how I work when I build computers. Anyways, it was great. It was like old computer hardware everywhere.
Yeah. Now you have your new favorite computer store? Or?
Oh, yes, actually, this is like, I want to come back. This is so cool. Just a little aside. This is how technical. Like this is one of the things that made me appreciate the place. I said, "Oh yeah, I need a new motherboard for my 3930X," and the guy says, "You mean the 3930K?" And I go, "Yes." 99.99% of people don't know what that means. And I was corrected by this guy there. I'm like, you know what you're talking about, because nobody knows really what the difference between a 3930K and a 3930X is. And he was like, and it's like 10-year-old hardware. So anyway, total aside, yes, possibly my new favorite computer store. So
well, that's good.
Yeah,
it's always good to have one of those around.
Yeah. So shout out to Kevin's Computers somewhere out there.
Somewhere out there. Well, thank you, Kevin. All right, so Windows 11 and the AMD cache issues. So I think we briefly talked about this last week, where Ryzen PCs on Windows 11 were having performance issues, up to 15% performance issues. So Microsoft released an update to Windows 11, which apparently made it worse.
It's fine. It's fine.
It's fine. I have a Ryzen PC, and I haven't noticed any issues. I haven't done any benchmarking, but I haven't noticed any issues. They are working on an update, so it'll be coming. So don't think you can never use Windows 11 if you have a Ryzen PC. The fix is coming, and
the issue is pretty specific. It is to deal with the L3 cache. There's an L1, L2, and L3 cache. There's these different tiers. L3 is actually like the slower of the cache on the CPU chip. So and apparently, so they were saying that esports titles and single thread applications are more prone to this issue. So the applications that make more heavy use of the L3 cache specifically are getting affected, because the the delay has gone from being 10 to 11 nanoseconds, which is really fast, to and then the launch version of Windows 11 had it slower to like 17 nanoseconds, which was that 15% hit. But the more recent update bumped it even worse to 32 to 34 nanoseconds, which is like 3 times something slower. So that's how fast the processor can access that memory. And it's just caused this like really big, I say big, it's still fast, but it's affecting performance when there's applications that need to make use of the specific kind of memory on the chip. Mm-hmm. So yeah, that's where you could be seeing a hit. Now, if your applications you're using don't make heavy use of this and it's not a big deal, you're not going to really see much of an issue. So it is an issue. It does need to be fixed. But again, on day-to-day level, day-to-day tasks, people probably won't notice.
Yeah.
So, but
yeah. And the fix apparently is in beta right now and a release preview channel. So I'm sure it's coming soon. I'm not too worried. It's high priority for them. It's probably the top of their list. So the fix will be coming soon with that.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, Nintendo Switch. We've talked about this kind of a couple weeks in a row, I think, the Nintendo Switch. But there's some more news with Nintendo Switch. They have released their new online expansion pack, which allows you to play Nintendo 64 games on your Switch. So this is kind of cool. Let me jump over here and show you guys. So the Nintendo 64, Nintendo Switch Online. So the games that were included, there is Mario Kart 64, The Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time, Star Fox 64, Mario Tennis, Super Mario 64, Dr. Mario 64, Yoshi's Story, Win Back, and Sin and Punishment. So those are the games that are included with this release or expansion pack. Mm-hmm. What's your favorite game out of those ones, Steven?
Out of those ones?
Yeah.
Okay, so I never played Win Back or Sin and Punishment.
No.
There's Dr. Mario. Way to put me on the spot. No. So the one
I have 3 that are intriguing to me, very intriguing to me.
Okay, which ones are they?
I like Mario Kart 64.
Yeah.
Zelda Ocarina of Time, and the third one you'll never guess is Mario Tennis.
No, Mario Tennis is good. That's kind of on my list too. No, the Mario sports games are actually good.
Yeah.
I would say my top pick here is, the one I probably played the most is Mario Kart 64.
Okay.
I don't know, man. But I'm with you. Mario Kart, Mario Tennis, and Super Mario 64. I'll pick my top 3. Just all the Mario stuff, pretty much.
Okay. Did you play Dr. Mario?
Not on the N60. Sorry, not on the N64. I played it on the NES. I like it on the NES.
Okay.
So, but it doesn't feel like the right plot. I don't know that I ever played it on the N64 though.
I didn't play a lot of Dr. Mario. I was more like a Tetris player.
Yeah.
On the Game Boy.
Yeah.
The original Game Boy. So.
Yeah.
But pricing on this. So this is American pricing. So the original Nintendo Switch Online, you could do $3.99 a month, $7.99 for 3 months, or $19.99 for the year. That included a whole ton of original NES games and Super Nintendo games.
Right.
So the expansion pack, which includes all those plus these N64 games, $49.99 for the year, or a family membership, and that includes up to 8 Nintendo account holders, $79.99 for the year, versus the family membership for their original Switch Online was $35 or $34.99. So it more than doubled in price. What are your thoughts on the pricing?
It is quite a bit pricier.
Yeah, I didn't think the price was going to be that much higher.
So I'm actually not. And I've been hearing that other people are finding it too high.
Mm-hmm. Before we get into that, you also get Sega Genesis games.
Yes, and And you also get, did you mention the Animal Crossing DLC?
No, I didn't.
So here, this ties into, yes, this does sound expensive, but initially I thought the Nintendo Switch Online stuff was actually pretty cheap for what it is.
I would agree.
So I was already leaning that towards being cheap. So you can say double, but I actually find this expansion pack actually more where I would have expected it to originally kind of be anyway.
It's closer to the PlayStation pricing for their online program.
Yeah.
For PlayStation Plus.
When I actually think about it, I actually don't find this expensive, and I actually think they went too low on the original package.
I would agree, which makes the upper package seem pricey because the first one was so cheap.
And so I'm gonna say that I do not consider this too expensive. I actually think this is fair and on point, and especially if you are an Animal Crossing user, you get the Animal Crossing DLC included. So if that's something that you're already kind of like into, that's neat. So I don't care much for the Genesis stuff. I already have Genesis collection on the PC. I already had it on like the PS3 and the PS2 kind of stuff, and I've already had it multiple times. The Genesis games, but it does come. So, but I mean, for the N64 stuff and being able to play online with other people, online is a cool thing. And even with the Genesis stuff, you can have up to 2 people playing online on Genesis, up to 4 on the N64. You get the DLC stuff, and you know what? I'm gonna say that I think the pricing's fair. I think it's good because when you break it down, it's $80 a year without the family plan. It was $80 American, roughly.
Yeah,
$79.99. So that is what, $6 something a month?
Yeah. Oh, don't ask me to do math on me.
No, I'm just gonna quickly do the math. I'm gonna quickly do the math.
6 something.
Now, 79 divided by 12 is that's like $6.70 a month. That's not expensive. I used to go we'd rent video games for like that much money and get them for 2 or 3 days.
That's what it costs to rent a movie at Blockbuster.
Can we just say that we're kind of maybe spoiled now?
Yeah.
Like, let's just be real and be like, no. Back in the day, you get it for like 2 or 3 days. I'd rent a game, and it was like that much money, and I was allowed to rent a game like once a month.
So now I'm curious about the family membership. Like, is that per household? Because that's a lot of account holders.
Yeah.
Like, or is that in a house or like extended
I think that's
family?
I think,
you're my extended family. Like, are we allowed to be on a family membership together?
You know what? I see it as if you're in the same household, like your not like tenants or like not a tenant landlord relationship, but like you're in the same household. Okay. I think like, I'm going to say, but I would maybe give if I had my brother who's living down the street, maybe they would have that. I don't know what.
Yeah. I'd like to see if they have like rules on that.
But I don't think the buddy we worked with 5 years ago should count, as family.
No.
Hey, we worked at the gas station together. Can I have your Nintendo account information? It's like
yeah.
We're family.
That's for sure. Your great uncle once removed.
Yeah.
Awesome. So still kind of on the Switch note, the PlayStation 5, like you and I have both been PlayStation fans for quite a while. I don't have the 5.
Neither do I.
Do you know anyone who has the 5?
No. I don't, actually.
Well, my nephew does, so now you do know someone.
Oh, okay. Okay.
But anyway, regardless, the PS5 for the first time outsold the Switch. In 33 months, the Switch has been, in the US, has had the most sales for 33 months in the US. And in September, the PlayStation 5 outsold the Switch. So they dethroned them there. And so I am curious, though. I mean, they're both great consoles. I mean, I'm curious if this comes from the side of that there just weren't enough PS5 consoles to sell.
Oh, you mean Switch consoles?
No, like if the PS5 would have outsold the Switch sooner, if there was more of them
I see.
available.
Right, because there's been
Because
it's
yeah,
hard to
people
get
are
them.
still having trouble getting them.
Yeah.
Um,
That's a
so
good, fair point. But the inverse of that was, if the Switch, if PS5 finally outsold it because people were, the Verge thing mentioned here about people may have been waiting for the OLED version to come, and so there may have been a dip in purchases waiting for the OLED.
that's true.
That's the other inverse side of
Yeah.
it is, but again, it's like it has been apparently hard to get PS5, so it's kind of hard to know
Yeah.
exactly where stuff would sit. But this number kind of shocked me, as they mentioned in the article, that there's been 89 million Switches sold so far.
I wonder if that includes the Switch Lite as well.
Yeah. I would say that it would be collectively all of them.
Yeah.
That is more than what I expected, especially considering I think the Wii U sold like 14 to 20 million in its lifetime.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
just to give some perspective, this console, the Switch, is sold like a lot.
You know what's really cool about the Switch? Like, you've got a few in your house, and we've got a couple in our house. But I like how it's not just a console, but it's also the handheld. It doubles. You can take it with you, and
And you found that practical. You've actually found it.
yeah, you can throw it
Neat
in
in
your
that way.
bag,
Yeah.
or you can use it just at home. So it's versatile in that way. For the hardcore gaming, if you're into like the Call of Duties and Battlefields, that sort of stuff, I mean, on a console, you're probably better off. You are better off going with an Xbox or a PlayStation just because it has those games. But it's just a fun, as Nintendo has always been, a fun, family-friendly, party centric kind of console, and they're just awesome for what they are. So
And their first party titles have continued to be a valid reason to have the console.
yeah, I just went and bought the Mario this week for
Which one?
for the Switch. Oh, okay, I'm gonna roll away.
Audit. Roll back.
There we go. The Super Mario Bros. U Deluxe. So
That's the one I want to play. I'm coming
yeah,
over.
you should
Can I
come
borrow
over.
that from you?
well, let me finish it first. So
I'll give you one of my games to borrow.
the olden days where you trade games. So yeah.
Yeah.
So pick that up. Been playing through that with my son.
Nice.
Yeah. So it just I'm a big fan of the like side view Marios.
Yeah.
This feels like Mario 3 but for 2021.
Okay. Yeah.
And I love Mario 3, like the original Mario 3 for
Did you ever play Super Mario World on the Super Nintendo?
a little bit. Yeah.
That one might be similar as well.
Yeah.
But yeah, Mario 3 was definitely very good. And yeah, I agree with you. I've wanted to play 2D ones as well. I haven't really played them. We got the Luigi one, but it's the harder, as we were discussing when you were here.
Yeah.
It's like the DLC version that's like harder, and I wanted to play just the relaxing Mario. I don't want to stress. I just want to play through the levels, and so that was one that I've wanted to play as well. So so you're enjoying it so far?
Yeah, it's a ton of fun. I'm just finding time to play it more. That's the biggest thing.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm happy with that one.
The side note regarding about this PS5 Outsold Switch is that, again, according to this Verge article, the group following these numbers, they're only tracking for the United States.
Yes.
So this is not worldwide numbers. So
the other interesting thing is Microsoft apparently doesn't really release their numbers, so people aren't really sure how many Xboxes have sold either in that comparison.
So, but they do have one person who has estimated that it's about 6.6 million as of June 30th. So that's still not bad. Like Xbox, Microsoft doesn't seem keen to have to be the top dog in the race.
Yeah.
So yeah, they're not selling as well as the PS5 or Nintendo, but they seem to be doing fine as well. So
Well, and with all their Microsoft stuff kind of joining with the PC stuff in a way, like all their memberships and stuff, I think they're doing well in that side of things. So,
yeah,
but
I don't think they're hurting.
yeah. Should we dive into our question of the week?
Yes, let's go.
Have you upgraded to Windows 11 yet?
No.
No. I have on one of my computers. My other one doesn't qualify.
Yeah.
But I've got something to share with you. I did a poll on my YouTube channel this week, and because I was kind of curious about this. So we had 135 votes. Have you upgraded to Windows 11 yet? 28% said yes. 57% said no. 14% my system does not support Windows 11. And 1% I use Mac. The funny part about that is, okay, honestly, I don't make any Mac videos and stuff, so I probably don't have a very big Mac audience. Yeah. But it was kind of funny because it's like 1%. And even there was some comments like, nobody's voted for Mac yet.
I like that. I like this poll. And you have zeroed down that, you are not a big YouTuber on Mac stuff. Like, this is definitely not your demographic. So I was like, who is that Mac user? Who is that person?
So it was, I kind of enjoyed this poll because it was good. Yeah. I was actually surprised that 28% already have upgraded to Windows 11. I was surprised that was so high.
And I'm kind of surprised that 14% was only the one that said that they don't support it. I would have thought that would have been higher. So that's kind of interesting. Yeah,
no, I agree. So that was definitely interesting. So if you'd like to leave a comment in the comment section below, we'd love to hear about whether you've upgraded to Windows 11. And leave that down below because it's kind of a interesting thing right now. Are you waiting? Even leave a comment. Why are you waiting? If you are, why? Maybe it's because you have an AMD chip,
or your computer's from 2011,
or your computer's from 2011. That's because you buy your computer from Kevin or whatever his name is.
Oh man, that shop is so cool. Maybe get him to sponsor this segment sometime. Kevin, sponsor us.
Where do you
sponsor my computer?
Where do you buy your computers? From Kevin.
Kevin's Hardware in Coquitlam. Go find him, guys. He's cool.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So that kind of wraps things up for episode 18 of the Tech ChitChat Show. Final thoughts there, Stephen?
Final thoughts. Well, realizing maybe should might play some Animal Crossing in the near future, so maybe I'll get that online stuff going here. We got a Switch Lite floating around. Maybe we can play some Animal Crossing together.
I don't have it. Oh, actually, we do have Animal Crossing.
See,
I don't have it. My son has it.
See, we can play together. We can make it.
I've honestly never played Animal Crossing. So, we'll see about that. All right. Well, that has been episode 18 of the Tech ChitChat Show. Thank you so much for joining us this week. Remember to like and subscribe because, Steven, what happens when we hit 100 subscribers?
We go to 1080p. The future is coming, right?
The future of 1080p. By the time we hit 100 subscribers, there'll be 4K streaming and we'll be like, we need 1,000. Anyway, thank you so much for watching, everybody, and listening. Until next time, take care.